Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We are back. Welcome to the Holla Black Podcast, where we have a desire to build community and mindset through conversation. Now, our mission is to bring people from all walks of life together to be brave leaders that are accountable to communicating knowledge, one day, one word, one moment at a time. Now, we believe that through open and respectful dialogue, we can learn from each other, grow as individuals, and create a more inclusive and compassionate society. So join us as we explore the complexities and beauty of life's experiences and work towards a brighter future for all. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Holla Black Podcast. Now, with that being said, I want to share with you that this right here is our 50th episode. Yes, we are turning 50, and your favorite host and MC, Ronnel Blackmon, is super excited to bring to you just, not only a host of experiences that we've had since our last episode, but also to, incorporate and bring that energy, that passion back to this moment that we have together. Now, I truly, truly believe that each and every single day, we should have an opportunity to manifest something. And there was something that I found that I definitely want to share from Oprah Winfrey. It says, you define your life. You define your own life. Don't let other people write your script. Like, think about that. You define your own life, and you have the power to not allow for other people to write your script, right? You have the power to make those decisions that will transform your life into the future you that you desire. Now, next up, I do want to share that, there is a motivational quote as well that I like to attach to all of my Holla Black podcast conversations. When we're talking about being brave leaders, when we're talking about being accountable, we need to also not only motivate, but encourage ourselves, right? And one that I found is that it doesn't matter how slowly you go, as long as you do not stop. Here we are each and every single episode, just continuously to put forth not only a better foot forward, but also a better product each and every single day. Okay. And I do want to go to and think about the topic for today, right? The topic for today is obedience is better than sacrifice. Wow. And where I got that from is a Bible scripture, 1 Samuel 15:22. Look it up. It states, but Samuel replied, does the Lord delight in burnt offerings? Does the Lord delight in burnt offerings and sacrifice as much as in obeying the Lord? To obey is better than sacrifice, and to heed is better than the fat of the rams. What I take from that is, obedience is sacrifice. And I want to dive just a little bit into, kind of some of the simplistic, but also complex alignments that it might have with our life. Now, first, let's define obedience, and let's go to the root word, obey. Obey means to comply, just so that we're all on the same page. It means to comply with or follow the commands, restrictions, wishes, or instructions of, right? To comply with or follow, that's to obey, right? To submit or to conform to action, that's what it means to obey. But then when we think about sacrifice, what does sacrifice mean? Well, sacrifice, it could mean similar to the biblical days, the offering of an animal, right? Giving up a plant or, some life of some material possession to a deity as appropriation or homage, giving homage to, right? That's a sacrifice. It could be the person, animal, or thing that is offered. It could be the surrender or destruction of something prized or desirable for the sake of something considered as having a higher or more pressing claim. It could also be the thing so surrendered or devoted, a loss incurred in selling something below its value, right? Those are all examples and definitions of sacrifice where as we come together and as we think through, hey, is obedience, better than sacrifice? I think about the fact that, there's so many importances that obedience aligns with, that allows for us to go through life and not have to continue to hit our head, not have to continue to learn those tough lessons. Now, there's always lessons to be learned, but if we can avoid those tough lessons by just following instructions, by following commandments, by just doing what possibly just is the right thing to do each and every single time. Now, I understand we don't get it right all the time. And that's okay, because again, that's how we learn. But in learning that, we should learn to be a lot more obedient so that we can stay online within the time. Okay. So when you consider this phrase, obedience is better than sacrifice. Now, it is often derived from spiritual, moral, or practical perspectives, but I want to talk about some reasons why obedience can be considered more important than sacrifice. Now, number one, it distributes faithfulness. Like, what are you faithful to? What are you being faithful to? Obedience shows that you have a genuine commitment to the following principles, laws, or divine instructions, reflecting faith and trust in authority. Do you have trust in authority? And when I speak of authority, it may be a leader, it may be a deity, it may be whether it's God, whether it's Jesus, whatever it is. Hey, today is the day that the Lord has made, right? Like, I will rejoice and be glad in it. I want to demonstrate faithfulness. I talk about my 4 F's all the time, my principles: faith, family, fitness, and fashion, right? But faith is first, right? I want to demonstrate faithfulness that I have in my craft, in my ability, but then also in the future me that I'm striving to be. So that's number one, demonstrating faithfulness. Number two, aligns with purpose. When you are obedient, everything that you do, it aligns with your purpose. I mean, obedience, it ensures that the actions align with the greater purpose or plan. You have a plan. We're talking about writing a plan down, seeing it plain. We're talking about reading it. We're talking about going over it. Whereas sacrifices, though meaningful at times, might stem from personal intent or misaligned priorities, right? It's like, hey, I wanted to do this thing, so I did this thing, and I'm going to sacrifice that in order to get to that. Where if you were just being obedient, possibly could you walk through the line, through that passage, through that timeline, so to speak, towards your goals in a cleaner, in a more efficient, in a more desirable area. Okay. So number two is aligning with your purpose. Okay. Reason why obedience can be considered more important than sacrifice. Number three, heart over rituals. Whew, this is one. This is one of those moments where, I think about, like, wow, my heart over my rituals. Like, what is my heart? Do I have a heart for this thing, or am I just doing it, going through the motions, right? Just being, you know, being just consistent with the motions, which consistency is important. But at the same time, am I truly, truly being faithful, being trustworthy, being appreciative? Like, think about the fact that obedience reflects the heart's willingness to submit and follow. Think about relationships, right? My heart, I have a willingness to submit, and not only to God, but also to my family, right? To be able to do the things that I do. In order to lead them, I have to submit my desires at a lot of times in order to provide for them those. Now, why sacrifice? Again, they can sometimes be seen as superficial, right? Act of lacking sincere and intention, right? But oftentimes, sacrifice in those different moments can be the obedient aspect, right? So I think that heart over rituals aspect, you want to make sure that people are feeling you, people are understanding you, and that is transparent. And a lot of times that when you are obedient to your mission, are obedient to your vision, are obedient to your goals, it allows for things to line up and truly just pour out in a very transparent way. Now, number four is leading to long-term benefits. Like, think about the fact that consistent obedience fosters discipline, and it builds trust over time, time after time, time after time. And it allows for us to create that solid foundation for sustainable relationships or systems. Like, think about the fact that we don't want this relationship or benefit to be a flash in the pan. No, we want this thing to be concrete. We want this thing to last forever. We want this thing, whatever it might be, whatever fitness goal, whatever mental goal, whatever educational goal, whatever relational goal that we might have, that consistent obedience, it fosters the discipline. It allows us to be shown. I talked about this in the past, right? If you want to see someone with a disciplined diet, you see someone with a solid core, right? You see someone that can wear a crop top. Crop top Eddie, shout out to you, right? Like, but you see the consistency, right? And that's the obedience that you have, not only to your mind, but also to your body. Number five, prevents unnecessary harm. Are we sometimes going down a path that we are hurting not only ourselves, but also the folks around us just by the fact that we're being disobedient. I think about like the being a parent. I think about being a father. And I feel like there's so much unnecessary harm that comes to kids when they don't listen, right? When we're not being obedient to our parents, when we're not being obedient to the wiser, the wisdom that has come before us, that has experienced this thing called life, right? We should be learning, we should be implementing, and we should be sharing, right? And as those older folks or those more wise, those more mature individuals are sharing, should we be lending an ear? Well, if we lend an ear, it allows us to follow, again, those instructions that can help us avoid those mistakes or that harm that might result in just truly, truly delaying us from reaching our goals, but also misguided or impulsive sacrifices that now we end up having to make. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'd rather, hear that this thing is hot than have to experience that this thing is hot, right? Don't touch that, or don't go this way, don't go right, don't go left. I think about this experience that I just had down in Disney and running marathon weekend, right? I think about the fact that I knew that not only from obedience with my body, but also from other run leads that I need to nutrition. I need nutrition. I need hydration throughout that race. Or guess what? The body is going to react in a way that is not going to allow me to perform at peak performance, right? Or the best that I could do, or at last, right? We talk about this all the time, completion over perfection. Nobody's perfect. No one's perfect. No one's even asking you to be perfect, right? But what we're asking or what we're displaying is an opportunity for us to reach our goal and reach it with the least amount of hurdles, least amount of roadblocks, the least amount of detours, so to speak, because we're doing things in a avoidance of mistaking way. Now, we can't avoid all mistakes, right? We have to learn, right? We have to bump our heads sometimes. But the more mistakes that we can avoid by listening, by being obedient, the sooner and the easier that road will be and can be towards the success level that we're looking towards our goal, no matter what it is. If it's public speaking, if it's, again, in a relationship, or if it's just your day-to-day, work that you get a chance to do. It may even be the goals that you have in fitness and health. All right. So that's number 5, preventing unnecessary harm. Number 6, it builds trust and dependability. Like, don't you want to build trust? Don't you want to be seen as dependable? Right? Obedience, it cultivates the reliability and shows others or God, right, that one can be trusted to adhere to expectations. I think about the fact that if I don't care about the small things, if I don't take good care about, the little things, how can I expect great things? How can I expect grand things? How can I expect to shoulder the responsibility of the majors if I haven't majored in the minors first? How can I major in the majors if I haven't majored in the minors, right? I think about the fact that, as I am, providing for my family, as I'm providing for my team, for the people around me, right? For my environment, I want to build trust. I want them to say, hey, Ronnel, that's somebody that I can depend on, right? We can depend on Ronnel to be there on time. We can depend on Ronnel to get the job done. We can depend on Ronnel to give a full 100%. Well, that's what we all should be striving towards, not necessarily to please people, but to be pleasing to people, right? To be a part of that team and to give our very best and learn something in the process. Okay. So that's number 6, building trust and dependability. Number 7, demonstrating humility. Do you get a great opportunity or great chance to demonstrate humility? I mean, if you think about it, when you're being obedient, that means you're following instructions, you're following directions, you're allowing others to see that, hey, I'm giving it my all. I'm good at what I do, but I know that I have room to improve, right? We all have room to improve, room to learn, room to grow. And when you demonstrate humility, obedience requires us to set aside our personal desires or egos, right? I know as myself, as many others, right? We have those egos, we have those personal desires, but it allows us to demonstrate humility and the willingness to just learn. Are you learners? We should be forever learners. I love it when my wife would tell me all the time. She said, hey, we're forever being educated. We're forever learning. So we should fall in love with the learning process. That's one of those things that, I truly appreciate about Tanika is the fact that she reminds me about, hey, the fact that as we grow, as we want to get better, we have to desire and have that willingness to learn. And that's what obedience provides us. The fact that, yes, we don't know it all and we recognize it and we share that, again, showing that humility. That's number 7, demonstrating humility. Number 8, encouraging clear priorities. It encourages clear priorities when we are valuing obedience. When one prioritizes just what truly matters over, some of the self-imposed or the arbitrary acts of sacrifice, it allows for us to clearly see and prioritize our life, whether it be our health, whether it be our fitness, whether it be our wealth, whether it be our networks, our groups, our environment, the people that are around us, right? It encourages us clear priorities, right? Things that they're unquestionable, right? What we're doing, why we're doing it, who we're doing things with, right? When we value obedience, it allows for not only those that are following us to follow stronger, but also those that we, as we lead, it allows for us to lead stronger, right? So for those that are following, it allows for them to follow stronger, but it also allows for us to lead with strength and positivity and clearly knowing exactly what we need to do. Now, number 9, it allows for us to avoid misplaced zeal. Ronnel, what do you mean by that? Avoiding misplaced zeal. Truly, like sacrifices without understanding or guidance can lead to a lot of wasted effort. And no one wants to waste time. No one wants to waste effort. No one wants to, have, or should I say, incur unattended consequences. Consequences are going to come, right? But if they're unattended, if they're not the things that, we're prioritizing, that we want to come towards us, right? It allows us to avoid that misplaced zeal. Whereas obedience ensures true and proper direction. It ensures it. So why not be it? Right? Like, why not be obedient if it ensures us positive acts, if it ensures us a successful rate, a high success rate? Do it. Just do it. Just listen. Just listen to, those that have come before you, that have seen it, that know it, right? Say, for instance, time is not guaranteed to anyone. So take the time right now to educate yourself, to get yourself going, to get yourself prepared for the value and the success that's coming in the future. So that's number 9, right? Avoiding that misplaced zeal. And then I'm going to wrap it up right here with number 10, right? So giving you 10 things right here. Enhancing relationships. This is the final one. Final one. Obedience fosters harmony. Ooh. Yeah, we all need a lot of that, especially in our relationships. It fosters harmony and mutual respect in relationships. You want that person to respect you. You want to show respect, right? And it emphasizes collaboration and respect for shared values over grandiose gestures, right? Just over me, just, kind of showering you with gifts. It's the fact that, man, I can be faithful. I can be trustful. I can be, concerning. I can be concerned with some of the things that you're doing, that you're thinking. These are some of the areas that I truly believe that each one of us has an opportunity to not only reach that level of success, but reach it at its perfect time, because we are maximizing each and every single day and being very obedient, not only to others, but also to ourselves, also to our goals, also to the future you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy, your favorite host and MC, Ronnel Blackmon. And the concept of obedience over sacrifice, it often illustrates and is illustrated in many, many religious texts. And it allows for us to recognize, though, the importance of a heart that's aligned with your goals, with the divine, right? With overall external offerings. It allows for us, you and me, to be the very best that we can be. Ladies and gentlemen, be better today than you were yesterday. It's your boy, your favorite host and MC, Ronnel Blackmon. And I hope you join me next time. And I hope you enjoyed this 50th episode of the Holla Black Podcast. Again, we are brave leaders that are accountable to communicating knowledge 1 moment, 1 hour, 1 second, 1 day, 1 month, 1 year at a time. And I truly appreciate you for joining me in this episode today, right here. Obedience is better than sacrifice. Have a wonderful day. And please remember, you define your own life. Don't let other people write your script. Holla Black.